Hey guys! This week, much like the last one, is going to be a summary of the work that we've accomplished on our first game. First and foremost, we've finally settled on a name. We'd like to introduce to you Ryuuvern. This is the name of the world that the game takes place in, and is a mix of the Japanese word for dragon, Ryu, and the English word cavern. Add those together and you get Ryuuvern. Early on, we decided that it would be best for this game to just be one level for several reasons. We are a new team, and we need to figure out how we work together, what our schedules are going to look like, and how we're going to work individually, and how we're going to bring that all together for the creation of a quality game. I also know that me personally, I tend to get carried away and will usually end up doing more than I had originally planned. So we didn't want to start out with a huge amount of work and realize that we weren't going to be able to create something we felt was strong. Thus, one level seemed to be the obvious choice, and making sure we were developing quality over quantity. In this video, I want to go over the visuals that I've created up to this point and the inspiration that I've used to get them where they are. Also, I just want to say, I am very new to animation, and I'm learning it on the fly. So while these are rough, I am enjoying the process of figuring it out, and hope that by the second game I'll be able to create much smoother, more consistent sprites for my team. The first one I'm going to show you is the swim cycle for our player sprite. I used a bright yellow for the main tunic in order for the character to be easily distinguishable from the backgrounds, which are all going to be deep blues and greens. In early sketches, the original colors were switched, but I quickly realized that this wouldn't work when I designed the first backgrounds. Second is the attack animation for one of the dragon companions. This one here is the whirlpool dragon. The animation is definitely a little stiff, and I feel like I went a little ham with the smears. However, I think the motion reads pretty well. There were a few reasons why I chose not to give this dragon super distinguished wings. The first being, as I said, I'm new to animation, and I felt like taking on wings would be a bit of a stretch for me as an introduction to the art form. The second was, this one was inspired by leafy sea dragons, which have these really pretty leafy appendages, so I thought that would be a fun visual to make sure the dragon reads as an underwater creature. I may add yellow stripes later though, so it pops out a bit more from the background. I also just wanted to make sure there wasn't this mass of color on the screen at all times. Wings take up a lot of space, and I didn't feel like I had the skill set to execute it well without this massive block of color taking up a lot of the view. This little sprite here is for one of the pearls you'll collect by defeating various enemies throughout the level. This particular one is an ice pearl. I'm hoping that it'll appear in a little puff of smoke once the enemy is defeated. Next, we have the working title screen. Obviously right now this is just a still, but I'd love to move the rays of light around as well as the little floating particles. I like the idea of this game feeling kind of muffled, like when you go underwater at the pool and everything just softens. That's the vibe I want the main menu to feel like. Then we have the boss room. This one has a few objects in the foreground and background that will hopefully be a diversion from the calmer atmosphere we've set up until this point in the game. There's a skull and a rib cage, as well as a sunken ship in the background to drive home that maybe what's about to happen in this room isn't going to be the greatest. I'm really enjoying thinking about so many different aspects that I usually wouldn't. I work a lot in character design, so pushing myself to think about the efficiency of the user interface and all the minute details that clearly take a lot of work but I hadn't put too much thought into before now has been an incredible challenge and experience overall. I'm really looking forward to seeing this game come to life and hope that I can provide my team with high quality visuals that they can be happy with. Well, that's it, I guess.